It's 2026, and you, my friend, you decided to do something meaningful for yourself. You decided to take a bet on yourself. You decided to take a bet on your entrepreneurship. You decided to take a bet on your journey. You decided to get out of your way, get out of your head, and you decided to trust that something within you, very deep within you, wants you here in the planet, wants you to do something meaningful with your skills, with your story, with your life. And what have I been doing over the last, let's say, 26 years? It's learn how to tell stories, learn how to use my story as my most powerful asset and inspire other people to do the same. So if you've been feeling like you are meant for something bigger than yourself, but you still say, oh, no, 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 that's not gonna happen. No, you know what, let's just focus on this thing, nobody will hear you. Or let's say that you're already doing it and halfway you tell yourself this is not gonna work out, let's go get a job, let's just quit, let's just close. What if things will actually work out the moment that you choose to put yourself out there, the moment that you choose to say, hey, what if there's no plan B? What if this is the only plan? What if this is the only plan? And you choose to suck it up and trust the process to say this might get muddy, this might get dirty, this might not look the best, but I'm going to fucking do it anyway. What if you decided that this is your chance, that this is your time, that this is your moment? I want you to reflect on that. And if it piqued your curiosity, down below I left a free resource. This is going to help you in your journey of self discovery. You can use it on your journaling prompts. I highly encourage it. It's super fun. Sometimes it's actually very intense and you cry, but you get things out of your subconscious mind and you become more clear on your goals, on your lifestyle, and the things you want to achieve and the things you want to become. So click the link below, use the free resources. They're free, they're fun, they're really helpful, and they can help you out in the journey. Now, going back into the conversation, there is something really magical about being humans, and it's we sometimes make things really complicated, but the moments that we allow things to become simple, we stress. Do you ever wonder why? Do you ever wonder why we stress when things become easy, when things chill, when there is ease in the horizon? It's because we were primed for survival. We are primed to survive. That's the basic configuration of the brain. That's how it works. And one of the main things that society now has learned and that it's highly encouraged is to learn how to regulate your nervous system so that this primary setting gets removed and you actually become comfortable with ease, with having enjoyment in the unknown of things. Because here's the thing, when things are easy, we're like, something's gonna jump, something's gonna happen. But if we learn to manage that unknown and to trust it, to say, I have the opportunity to be here, to be present, to be more of who I am, and to lead my life with love, with ease, with kindness. Even though things can get difficult sometimes, I can still enjoy the process. I'm alive, learn how to ride that wave. I think that's when things truly begin to change and they truly begin to work out for us. If you feel judged and criticized, if you feel that sometimes things don't work out for you the way you want them to work, if you feel stuck sometimes and like your dreams are unachievable, and you feel that the things you want are just hard to get, you're not alone. A lot of us go through that, this is what I want you to start focusing on. You're the one telling yourself those stories. You are the one telling yourself that things are hard. You are the one making things hard for yourself. You are the one choosing to think for other people. When you say, oh, this person might think this about me, or my mom might think this, or my dad will say blah, 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 you're just predicting things and putting yourself in a box, a safety box. And you might be doing this for different reasons, unknown to me, unknown to a lot of other people. But when you're doing this, you are just creating a protection mechanism that is keeping you safe. Not anyone else. It's keeping you safe. And you're doing this because of your concept of identity. You want to keep your identity safe. You want to be loyal to the identity, the personality that you've been creating over the years by the things that people have told you, by the things that you believe, by the things that limit you, and the things that make you feel comfortable. Here's where it gets really interesting. The moment you can get real honest with yourself and you understand that someone has to give in something. And what does that mean? It means that if you really want to achieve your dreams, if you really want to achieve your goals, how far are you willing to go? What are you willing to let go of in order to become that person that you want to be? And these sometimes might look like changing places, changing jobs, getting a promotion. And sometimes it looks like letting go of your old identity, changing the narrative, changing the person that you were, the person that you are, and understanding that all of those things, well, not all of them, but majority of them, are limitations from the past. They are past experiences that shaped you into the person you are today. And that some of them are positive, some of them are impacting you negatively, and some of them are just neutral. You are not aware of them, and they can either be impacting you positively or impacting you negatively. It all depends on how you put it in the scale. So let me ask you something now. If you were to build your dream business, if you were to do something bigger for yourself, go ahead in your career, trust the process, ask for that raise, get in that relationship, go to the gym, what part of you, what is the part of you that you're willing to let go? Are you willing to let go of that voice in your head that tells you, no, this is not us, this is not like me, this is not going to happen? Are you willing to let go of that and say, my identity is flexible. I can change this about myself. I can become a different person. I can change my lifestyle if I wanted to. I can change cities. I can change jobs. I can change careers. I am willing to change. And the moment that you allow those words to sink in and you create safety within your body to feel those words, to let them land in you and anchor, you begin to feel the world differently. The world expresses itself differently to you because you are willing within yourself to change. You're willing to see things differently. Things that were literally in front of you for years will now become very clear. Relationships that were toxic, that you didn't even understand why they were toxic, that you thought, oh, this is just how they are, this is just how it is, they will become very clear to you. And you will take a step out of there. Things that made you feel very insecure, that made you feel like you needed to doubt yourself, things that made you feel out of place, out of alignment, will literally become clear for you. How do I know this? Back in 2020, I moved to Canada, and I moved as a refugee from a difficult situation. And I told myself, I want a fresh start. I want to understand what it's like to be brand new. I want to understand what it's like to be myself fully. I had to take a look. I had to take a deep look at my patterns. What were they? Drinking alcohol for socializing because I needed to be social. Shrinking myself in conversations, staying because it feels safer to stay in places that make me feel uncomfortable, saying yes, people pleasing. So, what did I have to do? I had to understand no one's gonna change this for me. No one's gonna do it but me. And it was my 21st birthday. That day I was drinking alone in the kitchen, and I told myself, this is the last time I'm doing this. And the moment I've realized that I have the power to set goals, to change my outcome, I started to propose myself things. So I started my career in music production while working a full time job. And from the music production, I then wanted to do photography because I got introduced by it by my best friend, who's one of the best photographers I know. And I remember that those little things got me up, got me up, got me up. And now at 26, after putting a business together and looking at the things that used to limit me, which were my thoughts, I can tell you that if you choose to bet on yourself, if you choose to look blindly, to have faith, and to trust yourself, you're going to achieve things you never imagined you could. But I had to get out of my own way. I had to stop thinking, oh, I would never, I would never, I wouldn't do this. I had to shift my identity. I had to become someone else, someone unknown, someone that I'm willing to know deeply. Because here's the truth, most of your personality is just experiences of the past. And if you want to shape your personality to something that shapes you better, you gotta be open. You gotta be open to things. You gotta be open to change. You gotta be open to new patterns of thinking, new ideas, new ways to look at life. For example, if you feel that your bills are taking over you and that if you take a break, everything's gonna fall apart, then that's probably one of the thoughts that's keeping you in that loop. Let things fall apart. Let them and learn from it. We're so used to everything being perfect, everything aligning perfectly. Let the universe do that. And when you let things fall apart, you can rebuild. When you let things change, you can change. And that is the beautiful thing about life. If you choose to bet on yourself, to do something bigger than yourself, and to say, hey, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm willing to learn from it, even if I fail. You're doing that for yourself and yourself only. And you get to tell the story. You were giving something beautiful, which is your story, my friend. So, if you can take away anything from this, is that you are the one in control. You are the only thinker in your brain. If you struggle with people pleasing, if you struggle with putting other people first before yourself, if you struggle with setting goals and being consistent with them, let this message be something to guide you. I started when I was 21, and now I'm here, 26, with a business, learning from it, learning what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And is it easy? No, but it's rewarding because I'm learning a lot. And what I've learned is that I can change, that I can challenge myself to be different, that I can challenge myself to go beyond my limitations. And that even though in my head it can look really difficult, it can look extremely hard, the reality is that I always get surprised by how simple things can be the moment that I choose to be open to them. The moment that I choose to say, hey, I am going to do this anyway. Even if it's hard, even if it makes me crumble, I want to do this because it's my choice, because I am choosing to do so. So if I can teach you something, if I can add something to your experience, it's don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Make them. I encourage you to make your own mistakes and learn from them because they are gifts. They are gifts. And the beautiful, wonderful, meaningful thing about them is that the more you make, the more you go and you play with mud, the more you learn. And you can always go and wash the mud off in the shower. So stop focusing so much on what's troubling you, on what's keeping you stuck, and look beyond in the horizon. Focus on what you want and go for it. It's achievable, it's possible, and you deserve it.